Hello everyone, this is A32 back here with another How to Play. Today we're looking at how to play this game called The Great Dalmuti, which is for ages 8 and up. It's by Richard Garfield, and it is by Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, surprisingly. And it dates back to the mid-90s, 1995, I believe it says, somewhere on here. And, yeah. So it's an older game. It's out of print, this particular version. But there is a newer version that you can find. I mean, you can probably find this on eBay like I did or elsewhere. It's not that hard to find, I don't think. But there's a newer version that's easier to find, which has a Dungeons and Dragons theme, which really didn't catch my interest. I preferred this version, so that's what I got. And I've actually seen fan-made versions of this, like, what was it? I saw a Princess Bride version that somebody made up, and other versions that people have made up, which is kind of cool. This is a little trick-taking ladder climbing game for 4 to 8 players, so it can be a bit of a party game, and there's a bit of a party game element to it. What you're going to do to start off, I've already dealt out the cards, but what you're going to do is you're going to start off, everyone is going to select a card from the deck. Whoever has the highest card, which would be the lowest value, would become the Great Dalmuti and the start player. Whoever has the lowest value card would become the Great Peon. Yes, you heard correctly, Peon. The second highest would become the Lesser Dalmuti, and the second lowest would become the Lesser Peon. And if there is more than 4 players, everyone else would become merchants. And it's an 80 card deck, so it deals out nicely for 4 players. It is a lot of cards though for 4 players. Or is that 20 cards, I guess? Obviously. So what you're trying to do is play your cards out first. Whoever plays their cards out first will become the Great Dalmuti for the next round. Whoever is left at the end with cards in their hand, they will become the Great Peon for the next round. And the Great Peon is always going to be seated to the right of the Great Dalmuti. It's going to be Great Dalmuti, Lesser Dalmuti, Lesser Peon, and the Greater Peon. And the Greater Peon is, he's the lowly peasant, serf, whatever you want to call him, and they're always going to be responsible for doing everything. You can tell the peon to go get you a beer or whatever, and the peon is always going to be responsible for shuffling and dealing out cards and collecting the cards at the end of the round. And the Great Dalmuti, actually, he can sit wherever he wants, and then everyone else is going to sit around him in whatever order you want. You can even, I've seen people say you can, wear funny hats to denote that you're the Great Dalmuti or the peon. So that's kind of fun, little fun things you can do. I don't have any funny hat stories, so we're not going to do that. So we dealt out the cards. Can be dealt out all the cards to everyone, depending on the player count. We may not have even amounts of cards dealt to everyone. In this case, we do. And then, before we get on with playing, we're going to do some taxation, because there's always taxes in life. The peons must pay taxes to the Dalmuti. So what happens is this is the peon, we'll say. The peon's going to look at his cards, and he has to look at his best 2 cards. As I mentioned, the cards look like this. They have different characters on them, like separatists, seamstress, peasants, or the 12s, Earl Marshal, Cook, etc., etc. And there is the best card, which I have, which is the Great Dalmuti, is the number 1. There's 1 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, all the way up to 12 12s. There is also, I believe, 2 Jester cards. Individually, the Jester card acts as the number 13, the lowest card in the game, or you can play it as part of a set, and it becomes whatever number you play. So the lower value cards are the best ones. So the peon here has a 3, and he has a 4, and he's going to give me those 2, and I'm going to have to give him 2 of my worst cards. So I'm going to give him, see, I have a Jester, And I'm going to give him a peasant. And then, and actually, in fairness, I can, while a peon has to give me his two best cards, I can give him any two cards I want. So if I have, a bunch of 12s, maybe I want to keep them for the set. I can just give him something else. I don't have to necessarily give him my worst cards. But the lower rank, the better the card. So that's what they have to give you. And these two, the Great Dambuti and the Lesser Dambuti, are going to do the same thing, but with one card. So this guy has a, does he have a 2? He has a 3. He has a Jester. He's got that. And the Lesser Dambuti has to give him a card. Maybe he gives him a 12. Actually, does he? No, he doesn't have a Jester. So then you start off and you do a little ladder climbing, trick taking part of the game here. Now, I should mention as well, if any person ends up getting dealt both Jesters, they may call for a revolution. They can revolt. And nobody has both Jesters, so that's good. The revolution would mean that there is no taxation. So if one of the peons perhaps gets both the Jesters, they can point it out and there will be no taxation. It's a revolution. If the greater peon declares it, it's the greater revolution. And what happens in that case, in the Great Revolution, all players actually exchange seats with their opposites. So I have to swap with the greater peon. And the greater peon would become the greater Dambuti, and vice versa. So we swap roles, basically. So that's kind of interesting. And obviously, the Dambutis would not want no taxation. They would not want a revolution because then they wouldn't get any benefits out of that. Anyway, whoever starts, whoever has the lead, will get to play a set of cards. They don't have to be the same rank. So you can play 1, you can play 2, you can play 4, whatever you want, as long as they're all the same value. Greater Dambuti has the lead in the first hand, and then you go clockwise. And you can even play a set of the same number of cards of a better rank, or pass. But remember, the lower the rank, the better the card. And you're going to keep going until everyone has passed except for one player. And you're trying to go out first, so I'm going to start. It'd probably be best to organize these in order, but let's just say I play 4 9s. Now remember, if somebody has 4 of a kind, that is a lower number, which is not going to happen once you get to 3s or 2s, because there's only two 2s and 3 3s. But if they have a lower number, they can play. This guy is looking, he's got a bunch of 10s. I should probably organize these. He's got a couple of 4s, but not enough. So he's going to pass. So it comes to this guy. Can he do better than 4 of those? He has some 8s, some 6s, some 7s. He's got a Jester, which can be anything. Not an 8, not a 7. Okay, so he's going to play 4 7s using a Jester. And then he comes to this guy, or girl, whatever it happens to be. And they're going to pass. And then it comes back to me. I can play some more if I want, if I can. But I don't think that I can. I got 3 6s. Yeah, I'm going to pass. And then let's just say everyone else passes. This guy wins. Well, take these out of the way. He gets to lead the next one. So maybe he plays. He's going to be generous and he's going to play 3 12s. Start right at the very bottom. So this guy goes. He's looking for 3 of a kind that's a little higher, which he can't play. For 3 10s. Then it comes to me. And I'm going to play 3 6s, let's just say. And to this player. Let's just see a couple of 4s, a couple of 3s. Obviously, you'd want to kind of organize this so it's not a huge mess, but we can do that. And so he passes. This guy is not going to pass. This guy, does he have a lower 3 of a kind? No. Well, he has a jester, but I don't think he has a pair of something lower, or higher, I should say. He's got a 5, he's got a 7, that's not going to happen. So, then, I guess I win. Put those aside, and I get the lead. The Great Dambuti, right here, is the king. That's the highest value card. If I play this, nobody else is going to be able to play it because nothing beats a 1. So I would lead here. Maybe I'll play a pair of 8s. And you go around the table like this. You're only playing single cards or pairs. You cannot play runs in this game from what I can tell. And whoever goes out first, let's say I go out first, I become the Great Dambuti for the next round. And then whoever's second, whoever goes out second, perhaps that person, they become the lesser Dambuti. And then maybe this guy goes out, he becomes the lesser peon. And then this guy, whoever's last, would become the greater peon. And that is that. You're trying to be the first one out. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more difficult for the peons to go out since you're giving up the best cards. But they might have some decent chances still. And obviously, it's going to be easier for the Great Dambuti to continue. Overall, it's pretty cool art. Pretty interesting, game. I don't know it. No real complaints. I'll just bring all the cards back here. I think it's got some interesting stuff, and it's on a lot of. It's pretty fun. You can actually join a game in progress if you want to join in, as long as there's room. Now the merchants, they never pay any taxes, by the way. They just keep whatever cards they have. It's only the peons have to pay the Dambutis. And the Dambutis give them, something back, whatever they want. and it's that. Now, if you want to add some more flavor, the merchants can actually smooth with the upper classes, with the Dambutis. And try to help them out, perhaps, to win. And, yeah. There is a strategy of saving cards. There's optional rules you can use. How does the game end? It's the game that doesn't end. You can keep on playing and playing and playing. There is no specific end game rules. You just play until you're done playing. Or you can set up, maybe you want to keep points and give X amount of points to each player, and depending on how they finish, and play up to a certain amount of points. I don't know. There is no specific end game goal. There's nothing that says you play to this many points. There's no points that you're keeping track of. It doesn't say you play X amount of rounds. You can do that as well. It's up to you, really. Overall, pretty interesting game. Decent quality cards. Are a little bit thinner on the stock, and they're just a smooth finish. But I guess it's Hasbro, so what do you expect? I don't know about the quality of the newer versions. Overall, that is the Great Dambuti. I like it. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. More. Thanks for watching.